Hi there, I'm Andreas. I want to share with you some of the things I have learned about using OKRs, objectives and key results during the past 5 years. Looking on the internet, you see tech giants like Amazon, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook, and many more talking about OKRs. I got most of my experience from working with Kareem, which is the premier tech unicorn in the Middle East. But it's not something just for tech companies, there are so many more using it. Getting started can be a bit tricky though. For us, it was a rocky road with lots of learnings along the way. OKRs derives from management by objectives, and were made popular by John Doerr at Intel and Google. It's a way of formulating company goals, and rallying the whole company behind them. John's super simple template for how to write OKRs is, I will achieve something, as measured by, these key results. The objectives puts down the flag for the company, and state the direction you want to go. The key results measure if you are going in that direction. The only improvement to this template that I can think of, is to make sure you add a time frame like, by the end of the quarter, I will, or by the end of the year, I will. It helps to frame the discussions. The key results have to be measurable. Like Marissa Mayer from Google and Yahoo said, if it doesn't have a number in it, it's not a key result. Sometimes teams came up with key results they did not know how to measure. They then had to spend almost the entire quarter to figure out how to measure it. All they had was a catchy phrase, and no way of knowing if they were making progress or not. It made the entire exercise a huge waste of time and drain of energy. The way I see it, key results are pretty much KPIs done right. If you are looking for differences, I like the analogy to the healthcare sector, and how you do routine checkups with the doctor, versus start a medical treatment to cure an illness you have. The KPIs are like the regular checkups you do with the doctor, just to make sure that you are fit and healthy. You need to do these checkups consistently, and they are always the same. You check your weight, your temperature, your white blood cell count, and so on. If all values are okay, you keep on doing what you were doing the previous quarter, or previous year. The OKRs are like the ambulances that are sent out to act on something urgent. It's like you discover you got cancer. All of a sudden the normal KPIs get thrown out of the window, and all you do is focusing on getting healthy again, doing chemotherapy, or whatever it takes. The key results will measure how you are doing in your battle against cancer. Once you have won that fight, you move on with new objectives and new key results. Let's dig into the details. OKRs are like a 3-tiered pyramid. At the top we have the objectives, setting the direction. The middle floor houses the key results, telling you how far you have come on your journey. The ground floor holds the actions and initiatives, everything you come up with that will take you towards your objective. The objectives need to be few and easy to understand. You don't want to spend time having to explain what your objective really is to your coworkers. Objectives should be focused on the value you want to create, and since you want everyone to rally around them, it is good if you make them inspirational. If you have too many objectives, it won't be possible to rally around them, so limit yourself to no more than 37. Just kidding. No more than 5. Also, remember that objectives don't cascade. Since objectives may be holistic, you might need multiple key results to measure a single objective. What is important is that the key results measure the impact you are having, not how many tasks you have completed. You also need to measure yourself often and early. Every 2 weeks is a good cadence. It will force you to define key results that are easy to measure. Once you have measured your impact so far, you rate your impact from 1 to 10. The rating is what you communicate to others on a regular schedule. Actions and initiatives is an optional part, it's done for your own good. Having a clear plan will make it more easy for you to get support and understanding from others. The plan is, however, nothing that should be tracked by others than your own team. Wait a minute. Did I say that objectives don't cascade? If the sales department is responsible for bringing in $100 million, why should not each team be responsible for their share of those $100 million? Well, it's for the same reason as if you run a development organization with a design team, and a development team, that develops a product for 100 million users. Then there is no point in telling the design team they should bring in 30 million users and the development team should bring the remainder. Instead, each team should figure out how they best can contribute to the 100 million users, and then figure out how they can measure their contribution. It's not that OKRs hinders teams from contributing to higher company goals. It's just like Laszlo Bock from Google says, spending hours cascading goals up and down, making sure the numbers add up, does not add value. But, if everyone is picking their own goal, how can top management be sure that people don't just pick what they like, instead of what is important for the company? Well, it takes two things to make it work. First, reporting should be frequent and everyone's OKRs should be public and transparent. It will then be very visible if a team chooses to work on things that are not in any way helpful to the company. Secondly, top management needs to provide information to the team about what is important for the company. So, if OKRs enable teams to perform, it is really a performance management system. Well, OKRs can have a great impact on performance, but OKRs are about goal setting and alignment. It is not about rewarding and incentivizing people per se. When you align goals, you enable collaboration. How you do performance management will then either enhance it or kill it. You need to have a system in place that actually incentivizes collaboration, so that teams help each other. How you do performance management is actually a deal breaker for if you will benefit from OKRs or not. The challenge is that sometimes performance management is a non-repetitive zero-sum game, where either you get the promotion, or I do. John Nash got the Nobel Prize for showing what are the winning strategies for playing such a game, and collaboration is rarely it. Tools are super important, especially in large organizations. As organizations grow, there is often a need for electronic tools because people are in different places and time zones. Since OKRs have become so popular, it feels like tooling, book writing and consultancy has become a billion-dollar industry. Due to that, new tools pop up every other day. Some are completely new tools, some are old tools where OKRs have been added to the existing feature set. I have used a bunch of them, some I like, some I really don't like. I find it interesting to group the tools depending on their starting point. In most cases, there are a bunch of task management tools, used for project management. These are typically really good at project-based task breakdown and activity tracking. Then there are some tools that started out as HR tools, used for performance management. These are often good at cascading goals, from department to teams, and tracking KPIs. Sometimes there are also various feedback tools in use, to run employee surveys, and measure engagement or NPS. They are often good at gathering qualitative data. Today there are lots of new tools, that tries to pick the best parts from each category of tools. No matter which tool you end up with, the most important thing, is to make sure that your people knows how to use it, and that it makes the OKRs transparent. That's it from me. Message me on LinkedIn if you like this, or if you want to know more.